Hello everyone, this time I'm doing a video for some people, very important people, because it's a chance to expand our co-trustees to Dominican Republic and Ecuador and Colombia and across the whole Spanish-speaking world. But they're not co-trustees yet, and so they might not have all the documents that co-trustees have. So bear with me as I answer their questions, just in case there's something that is relevant to you as well. So what's the purpose of the Alpha and Omega Trust? Well, like all trusts, it's a way of protecting a large family legacy for future generations. So they were very careful to put in their will that the beneficiaries were to be humanity. In this instance, we can clearly define, differentiate that the money is for living men and women and not for the incorporated class. That means it shouldn't have been spent, and mainly those big trust funds and deposits have not been spent, but some has been stolen. Another part of its history was that many big loans from the trust were made after the First World War to try and build back all the different countries that had been destroyed. But those loans were supposed to be repaid after 50 years, and they weren't. And the 50 years correlates to the Jubilee, when all collateral is renewed and all debts are either settled or forgiven. But after that 50 years, they had the Second World War, and so they asked to extend the loan for another 50 years. So when it got to 2005, anyway, there's been various different moments at 50-year periods and between, and so now all the courts, the world courts and individual courts, that various people who are fiduciaries for the trusts have agreed that these monies must be paid back. And that is why we're gathering to make the claim to the banks that hold these big deposits. So that's the historical reality as well, that these funds were kept in banks for the people, the living people, but they are now to be paid out to the people. And the other very important purpose of the trust is that up until now, for 100 years and more, our birth certificates are literally our souls, our lives, have been what is backing that economic system. And what we're doing now is we're going to buy back our souls, buy back our freedom, and back the economic system with with the trust funds. So what that means is that when we thought that they were using our estates, they actually were betting against us in a sense. They were actually creating debts and loans in order to create money against the people of their population. The other express purpose I've heard recently is that it's an opportunity, and a last opportunity, to recover our sovereign nations, because everything has been pushing towards a one world government, one world bank, the World Economic Forum, but not all the big families are agreed that that's what they want. And so it's an opportunity to engage with the bank, with the powers that be, and just say, if you don't want this all to go under the World Economic Forum and that corruption and one power that has no regard for life, in fact is hostile to life, and also has no way of saying what people need in each country, so they're not fit to back or arrange an economic forum, an economic system for the world. So there is a lot of people wanting this to happen, and it's an opportunity this year only, which is why we're really encouraging people to sign up as trustees and make these claims. They're not claims that are difficult to prove. In fact, we don't even have to prove them. We have in Writ 111 the agreement from all parties, from the Bank of International Settlements, from Euroclear Finance Auditing House most recently, and or the World Bank itself. So let me see if I can find number 3. Well, which institutions or entities have transferred the title of UCC1 judge internationally to... Well, the great thing is we're trying not to deal with institutions. This is a correction of the banking system. And this is what has happened specifically when we were appointed first as co-trustees. Our job was to correct the banking system. So Adrian was appointed by the 17 powers of attorney. And the 17 powers of attorney are the same people that made those deposits back in 1966 to 69 in every country in the world. So they've instructed him that is what he has to bring about, the payout from those deposits that so few people know about and has been specifically hidden. Are there any audited financial statements? Yes. The audited financial statements are Euroclear, the infinite bank statements of the World Bank, that was 2012, and 2007 was the minute from the Committee of 300. But that was when it was most recently authorised again by all these different big parties, all world leaders, all finance ministers. And court judgments, yes, there has been 2 in the last 2 weeks that have really helped move the work onwards for the co-trustees and for Adrian. And when you become co-trustees, you will receive copies of those court orders for you to work with and familiarise yourself with. But actually, the most important thing is to know that this isn't a fight. We don't have to prove anything. We are sending in those audited statements to the banks that hold the reserves, hold the deposits, and saying to them, we want to register this account number under the Alpha Omega Trust and register its beneficiaries as humanity. So we're just clarifying exactly who the trust belongs to and who it's for the benefit of. And I've had some success with that already. Australia has gone a long way and served all the banks. And many of them don't even know. So that's the first thing to do. Just to write and say you want to do is open the conversation. That is the key to success. The account confirmations, yes. Enforceable orders, well, there is a move in a sense because we already have the orders from the International Criminal Court and the International Court of Justice and the Supreme Court in America, and one other, which I can't think of now, several others, the Vatican Court. And a lot of people think that the Vatican Court, the Vatican Bank has also said that this return must happen in the this Jubilee year, and in order for the banks to be compliant. So I'm going to stop there as it's 10 minutes and then start again.